We have seen the struggles of COVID hit home for so many of our county residents, and we just want them to know that the county cares.
We have clients come in from the community who are behind on their rent, on their mortgage, and other things as well. Our job is to give them a hand up, to lift them up so that they're out of that position and going forward being able to attend to those issues. So we pay back rent, we pay back mortgage.
You know, sometimes we get to the point of my credit is messed up, I messed up in the past, so there's no judgment there.
We give them a voucher which goes to their landlord or mortgage company, and it says, this is our commitment, this is what we're going to do for those people because they have fallen on bad times, usually through no fault of their own.
We recognize that COVID has, specifically with COVID-19, that the pandemic has hit our community in more ways than one. And we understand one of those ways or elements that's been affected is housing.
The biggest one for us is, you know, they'll come in and their credit scores are so low, and it's the medical bills that are holding them back, or a credit card payment, and they're like, well, I just couldn't afford it. And you know, we try to explain to them just $5 a month. As long as you're making a payment, it's better than making nothing at all.
Sometimes people think this is the way it is. This is the way of life. My mom did it. My grandma did. So this is what it is. So they're not educated into getting out of that position. So that's why we're here. We want to educate them and let them know this is not a lifelong process. This is something that can be changed. The vicious cycle can stop with you, and you should want that to stop with you. You don't want this for your children.
Many people do not come from families that can contribute $100,000, for example, to purchase a home, or they don't come from generational wealth that can contribute to buying or purchasing property.
There are people who have come to us too late. They've gotten evicted from their homes or foreclosed on. Had they come to this workshop earlier, they would have gotten this knowledge that we're trying to give to them. So it would have helped them prevent getting evicted, getting foreclosed on.
We don't want you to get into a situation if you're trying to get a home and no one ever told you how the whole process works, and then you're in a home and now you can't make the payments.
We're trying to offer home ownership to people and create generational wealth that in our community that they haven't seen before.
We want to impact generations to come, so we need to make sure that we're reaching out and reaching back and picking up those people who need a little help so they won't be left behind.
If we can teach them how to budget, why to budget, when to budget, what are the things that you can, you know, all of that related to budget, then we can push them forward so that they're not in that same position over and over again.
In order to buy a home, you know, you got to get back to the basics. You got to understand, you know, what your credit is and what you qualify for and how to budget to get to that qualifying goal.
We try to help people with all things housing and financial. So if you're interested in purchasing a home, we can talk to you about that process. We can walk you through what it looks like, help you understand that that is something that's achievable for most people. That also includes your credit, looking at your money management, talking about your income, and looking at what hurdles may be in the way towards homeownership, but helping you walk through it.
The credit and the housing, that's a solid, where you want to start your solid foundation to do for your family, because home is where everything is at, and with that solid foundation of home, you can move towards the job and all of those other things.
When it's time to purchase a home, people think, oh, well, I have the credit score and I'm fine. Well, in reality, there's so much more to that.
It's important in the beginning stages to understand the education of why do I need to put aside, for example, $10,000 as a down payment? What is the importance of that? What does that mean in the long term of the process of home buying? What does that mean for later down the road what my mortgage payment will look like, for example?
Yeah, you make the money, but we want to make sure that you know how to appropriate it so that you can tell your money where to be spent instead of your money telling you where it's going to be spent at.
What makes up a credit score? What is included in that credit score, the different scoring models, what you can expect, how credit affects you on your day-to-day basis. We'll be talking about credit building, things you can do to improve your credit score.
A lot of times people have, credit issues and things on their credit that they don't know how to get rid of, or they think it's too difficult. But when they learn the process about how that works, they find that it's something that they could possibly do on their own, and they don't necessarily need assistance.
We don't want to give that we are a credit repair shop. We are here to help with your credit. We are not here to get the money from you and then try to fix your credit. We don't fix your credit. We show you how to fix your credit.
If you're not in the position that you want to be in to purchase a home right now, show up. Because once you show up, you've taken the first step. And it doesn't matter where you are, we're going to help you get to where you need to be.
It's helping our residents to become self-sufficient on their own.
We hope to address those common misconceptions, such as having to come from, wealth, or having folks contribute hundreds of thousands of dollars towards a down payment towards a home.
You're not alone in this process. We at Regenesis, we are here from day one to the end. We're from pre-purchase to post-purchase.
Invest in themselves, and say this is something that they're going to do for future generations to come to their family. If you're a homeowner, you want to be able to pass that on to your son or daughter.
I would hope that the takeaway would be that I can get out of this, and we show them the way, how it's done. Because I've had clients to come in and say, Ms. Rogers, I don't know how to budget. They don't know how it's done. They've never been taught to budget. So let's turn on that light bulb that says, oh, I can do this. I can get out of this position.
I really hope that they take away that there's something there for everyone. And no matter where you are in life, you can get something out of this program. You can get something from these different organizations, whether it's down payment assistance, the credit, the budgeting. We want to be diverse. We want to help.
I think people don't understand the process, and they probably think it's too difficult for them. But what I want them to walk away from this is knowing that they can do it. It's not a hard process, but it's one that if you make up your mind and you're dedicated to the process and what's required of you, you can do it.
You're capable. This is not something that's beyond your scope of reach. You can do it.
You get better when you know better. And when you know better, you do better. And every day is an opportunity to improve. Every day. You may fall off the horse. You go into this budget and then you mess up. Sometimes we do. But that's not a time to say, okay, I messed up, let's just let it go. No. What you do is get back up on that horse and try it again. Every day is an opportunity to improve, and we should do that.